Sasha Banks is a Culture 316 fan, y'all.
She listens to Culture 316. Sasha Banks, she like commented on our thing, and then it's just like she listens to Culture 316. She watches us. She knows who I am.
She's a culture stan.
She knows who I am more though.
She's a culture stan.
That's it. Like she knows, like she stands us, and she's like gonna be the first person wearing a Culture 316 t-shirt.
That's it.
And yeah, like we have like, okay, y'all have y'all whatever. We have Sasha Banks.
We have Sasha Banks. There. What's going on, everybody? This is Culture 316, where we push the conversation and culture of sports entertainment into the 21st century. I'm one of your hosts, Jay the Creative.
I am Groot.
You're Groot.
I am Groot.
Groot?
Groot.
Oh.
I am Groot.
But anyway, welcome to another episode 115. We have a lot to talk about. Where we're going to start with a condolences. Last week, I think it was prior to our previous episode, former WWE Diva Ashley Massaro passed away in her Long Island home. Authorities and sources are reporting that she died as a result of an apparent suicide, which is really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ashley was a kind of a cornerstone for the Divas division around that middle 2000s period, and you know, was a locker room, wasn't a locker room, was apparently a really nice woman, and it's just kind of really sad to see somebody like that go out in that way. She was young, 39, 37, that's crazy. But we just wanted to take this time at Culture 316 to send our condolences, prayers to the family of Ashley Massaro, and to kind of, this is one of those things that kind of taps into mental health. Definitely when we're talking about suicide, we're definitely points to mental health. And so if you are out there and you are experiencing anything in your life, definitely look for help.
Oh, you know what we should do? If you could edit this in, the suicide hotline. Boop, 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 right here.
Yeah, let's do
it's
that.
Like right there.
Let's edit the suicide. We're gonna put this
somewhere.
Somewhere it's gonna be here. Call somebody, get help. Somebody's here for you. But yeah, that's pertaining to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. It's always really sad to find like a wrestler that has passed away. I think it's like it takes it up a notch, especially when it's somebody who passes away due to like suicide or, mental health, situations and stuff like that. Ashley really went through a lot in the WWE. There recently a case of like a sexual assault of her when they were in Kuwait. What was it, 2005? One of those 2005 to 2008 years when she was signed. And, it's recently like kind of come back. And I'm just like, there are rumors that the company told her to. Now, I don't want to assume. I'm not assuming anything. I obviously don't know anything about the case. I wasn't there or anything. But, the rumor is that the company kind of told her to hush about it, like to keep it under wraps, which I'm not surprised by. But, yeah. So honestly, just our condolences to her family. I think she had a daughter, which that must suck. That really must suck. Like, I know they say that your parents are supposed to pass away before parents are supposed to pass away before the kids, but not like this.
Yeah,
let them have their life. Let them live their life first,
and then let them go out.
That's.
But yeah, rest in peace.
That's that.
Rest in peace to Ashley. But let's get into the show. So the first thing we're going to talk about is last week's Sunday pay-per-view of Money in the Bank. So Angie, what were your not first impressions, but just overall impressions of the show? How did you feel about the show? How did you feel about that ending?
Well, I didn't watch the show. I watched the very last 5 minutes of Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. And I watched the main event. Like, I didn't watch anything else because I fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 8:30 and was late to Legends. So I got there for like the last hour of the show. And yeah, of what I saw of the, results and all the reviews that I've listened to, people are saying that the show was pretty C-, which is like an average WWE pay-per-view. I was like, okay. I mean, the ending, I'm not that upset by the ending because, I get it. I get why people would be upset because, Brock, that's really the most wrestling Brock has done all year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't really done much. He's been at Rumble. He was at WrestleMania.
Money in the Bank.
And Money in the Bank. Like, that's literally been it since January.
Yeah, I mean, I actually liked Money in the Bank. I thought it was a pretty good card, pretty good matches. The ending was definitely a swerve, and I can credit WWE for that. That was a big swerve because I did not see that coming.
I mean, if you really looked at that match, who did you really think was going to win?
Honestly, it wasn't even who I thought was going to win. I didn't really have any expectation of who was going to win. Yeah. I thought that the person who had the vacant 8th slot was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to return and win Money in the Bank. I just didn't expect to see Brock at all, period, in any shape, way, or form. But it was a good way that they kept the secret, and it was a good way that they kind of brought him in. Well, overall, it was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from Money in the Bank, because I don't want to talk about this for that long. If you haven't seen it, WWE Network, Money in the Bank 2019.
Oh, well, I mean, one real quick. First of all, big congratulations to Bayley.
Oh, yeah. She had the moment of the night as far as winning the women's Money in the Bank match and then cashing it in and winning it on Charlotte.
And you know what? As much as, I'm a huge fan of Bayley. I've always have been. I absolutely love her. But I feel like, and I don't want to take away from her moment, right? But I feel like that was like a big middle finger to Sasha Banks. That moment. All of that was like, oh, you're not here. Let's give it to Bayley. Because I feel like this company is just so petty. Like, they're just going to do stuff just to, we're going to make you wish that you want to be back here. Now, that could quite possibly not be the case. We still don't know the details of why Sasha Banks is not there.
Right.
We know what the dirt sheets have said, but we don't know why Sasha's not on TV. Sasha could very well be nursing an injury, and all of this has been made up BS.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't really believe anything on the internet that much anymore. So, I mean, like, if she comes back, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I just also feel like when it came to Bayley, she was having a string of good matches. She was kind of having a rejuvenated solo career, or singles career, I should say. I shouldn't say solo, like she broke away from Destiny's Child or something. She's having a rejuvenated run, and I feel like this was kind of something that she needed.
This is her rehab.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, regardless of if Sasha was here or not, I feel like she needed this.
She did, 100%.
And so, based off of that, congratulations, Bayley. And speaking of championships, a new championship was introduced on Monday Night Raw during the third hour of Monday Night Raw by Mick Foley, and it is called the 24/7 Championship. Now, the rules go as follows. Any superstar can win this championship as long as there is a referee present. They plan on having this title featured and defended on the third hour of Raw every Monday. And it kind of has the same stipulations and rules as the hardcore title back in the late 1990s to early 2000s. I don't even have to ask you how you feel about it. But you clearly told me how you felt about it.
Why? Like, someone explain to me why this belt is needed.
I don't know if it's needed. It's definitely, I don't know if it's not. I don't know if it's needed or not. But what I will say is this. Truth has made this entertaining.
Our Truth makes everything entertaining.
Our Truth has made this title very, very entertaining and fun to watch. I think that the whole fact that he calls it the European Championship, at one point he called it the European Continental Championship, like, it's just so funny. It's like, to me, I feel like this title is a breath of fresh air, because I feel like there are a bunch of people in the back, at all different levels of, on the card, and they don't really have storylines at the moment, or they don't have anything, and this is a good way to get people involved. Also, They noted that any superstar, this title can be won anywhere, defended anywhere. So that's Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, NXT UK. And they said any superstar, not any male or any woman. So this can definitely be an introduction into intergender wrestling for WWE as well. So I feel like this has a lot of benefits if they use it correctly, and if they put it on the right people, and if they make this entertaining. I feel like this belt is for entertainment purposes. It's for fun, and there's nothing wrong with having a fun belt.
There is nothing wrong with having a fun belt, but you have Raw Tag Team Champions who haven't been seen since WrestleMania.
Very true.
Right. You have Women's Tag Team Champions who haven't won a match since WrestleMania. You have a Intercontinental Championship which hasn't been defended since WrestleMania.
No, it's been defended.
Has it been defended since WrestleMania?
It has. I think it has. I'm not sure when, but I think there was definitely. Yeah, there was. It was Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn when Sami Zayn came back.
Okay, I haven't been watching Raw.
So
whatever. So scratch that. But
there's a lot of essentially there's a lot of titles that aren't being given interesting feuds or storylines.
You have championships in this company, multiple, that are not viewed well, that are looked at as jokes because maybe you put them on people who are, okay, fine. Listen, I don't have an issue with the Iconics being tag team champions. Like, I think the Iconics are great. Are they great wrestlers? No. But, not everybody's going to be a Johnny Gargano or a Sasha Banks or a Charlotte Flair or a Bayley. Everybody can't be that.
Right.
But my point is, you have all of these titles in this company, and just on the main roster alone, you have, I think somebody counted it out, it was 11 championships. How do you have 11 championships on the main roster and none of them seem like they're doing anything?
Right.
Like, how? Again, will I say, the Raw Tag Team Champions have not been seen since since the week before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It's just the week after at WrestleMania, whatever, the Superstar Shakeup. How do you have champions who aren't on television? And you have the Usos fighting for championships on a brand that they're not even on. Like, right now, WWE makes no sense. Like, nothing is correlating. X and Y are not equaling. There is nothing that is connecting that makes this make sense. Make it make sense, WWE. But you can't, because you don't know. You don't even know. You don't even know what's happening. All you know is that we're doing this, that, and the fourth, and we're introducing this new title. They sent Mick Foley, God bless his soul. They sent Mick Foley out there to die. Yeah. They gave him this championship, and Mick Foley's out there trying to put this title over, and everybody is looking at him like,
"What are you doing?"
Okay. Like, no one cared. It was like the worst thing you could have possibly done when it comes to introducing a new title. And then you do the TNA Reverse Battle Royal to get somebody to win this championship, where no one can figure out how they're getting into the ring. Everybody is fighting each other rather than just running to get into the ring. It was stupid. Like, if you're going to introduce a new championship, make sure the titles you have on your brands right now, make sure they mean something. If you want to introduce a comedy championship, which is fine, you can introduce a comedy championship. Make sure that the people who are fighting for this comedy championship are people that we care about. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you have so many people on this roster, it's so impossible to care about everybody. But you have Bobby Roode fighting for this title? Are you kidding me? EC3 is dead. EC3 has been dead since he came up to the main roster. Nothing can save him at this point. He fell faster than Bayley. He just rock bottomed as soon as he got there. Just sorry. I really like EC3. I really think he could have been a great heel on the main roster. Absolutely. He just rock bottomed. If this is what you're going to use to get guys like EC3 somewhere, then that's fine. But make sure that you spend as much time as you're going to spend on this stupid 24/7 title that's going to be forgotten by the next pay-per-view. Because let me explain something to you. What's going to happen is the 24/7 championship, whoever is the champion, he's going to be off of TV. They're going to have him on TV until the stupid Saudi pay-per-view. They're going to forget about him. He's going to be off of TV for the next 5 weeks. And then all of a sudden, by the next pay-per-view, they're just going to have him get pinned and the new person's going to be the champion. I don't care.
Well, we want to know what your opinions are about this title because we definitely have mixed opinions. So just comment below, like, share, comment. Tell us what you feel about the 24/7 championship. And on from...
Oh, well, before we go to Double or Nothing, speaking of the Saudi pay-per-view, there's 4 superstars not going to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yes. Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and Sami Zayn, correct?
Yeah,
I know Cena's not going. I know DB's not going. I know KO, and I know Sami Zayn is definitely
was John Cena even signed for this pay-per-view?
I mean, he could have been. It's Saudi, yeah.
Saudi pay-per-view, WWE. Who's not going? I know it was Aleister Black.
Oh yeah, but the thing with the difference, so that makes it 5. But the reason why Black couldn't go is because of his tattoos.
Yeah, but he's still not going. And John Cena was never on the card.
Card to begin with, right?
Yeah, so John Cena was never going. But that's just very interesting to me. It's just like you have workers who are uncomfortable with going to this country. And you have people who aren't allowed to go to this country because they believe something that Saudis don't. I mean, I'm not too up on Saudi culture. You know, I'm Christian if you didn't know.
Same.
But like, would I be allowed to go there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, that's one thing that is really unsettling. Like, if I go there, what do I do? Like, do I have to just keep my mouth closed? Like, I can't do that. Like, I would literally not go. So I don't know, man. They have Dolph Ziggler now.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler. And by the way, I did not expect that.
It's just a joke. Like, it's an absolute joke at this point.
But Dolph is gonna. I feel like the funny part about it is Dolph and Kofi are gonna have a banger.
That's fine, and I'm not expecting anything less from Dolph Ziggler, but he's gonna lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I don't expect this exactly what I expect. Right. Dolph Ziggler is a loser, which is why this is a joke to me. Dolph Ziggler, you know, I think Dolph Ziggler is great. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's hilarious, but you're a loser. Like, how could I possibly care about you anymore? I'm just saying. All right, next topic.
Well, we're going to move on from one wrestling promotion to the other because All Elite Wrestling, well, this is going to be happening on Saturday. It's the Sunday. But All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing is airing live on pay-per-view. It will be streaming on Fight TV. In the UK, they'll be streaming on ITV. And in the US, they'll be streaming on Bleacher Report Live. You want to go into the card?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
So I think it's very, very interesting. They, in the latest edition of Road to Double or Nothing, they revealed that the winners of the Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho match, as well as the winner of the Casino Battle Royal, will be the 2 performers that will be competing for the AEW World Championship.
Oh, that I actually just learned. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the winner wins a future title shot. But we're gonna go through the card.
All right. Let's go through this card really quickly. We'll start from the bottom, the buy-in.
So there's Sammy Guevara.
We have the Casino Battle Royale.
And by the way, for the Casino Battle Royal, Sean Spears.
Royale with an E.
Yeah.
Royale.
So for the Royale, it's important to note that Sean Spears has been signed by AEW.
For those who don't know, that is Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger, and he will be in this Casino Battle Royale. Don't really have a prediction because I don't really know a lot of people in this. So I'm just looking to enjoy the match. Now, Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian. I feel like Sammy Guevara is going to win because this is one of AEW's first signings. They're really big on this guy. He's the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship, so apparently he's really good in the ring. So I think that Sammy Guevara is going to win this. I don't even know any of the women in the next match, so we're just going to skip that.
Okay.
Britt Baker versus Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose. I'm going to say Nyla Rose. I feel like she is definitely going to be the person that's going to be perceived as the dominant woman in that brand. And what better way to kind of solidify that than by winning a triple threat at the brand's inaugural pay-per-view. Then we have Best Friends versus Angelico and Jack Evans. I feel like Best Friends are going to take it.
Okay.
When it comes to SoCal versus Strong Hearts, SoCal Uncensored is going to take it because they're just red hot right now.
Oh, the 3 matches I can finally talk about.
And now the 3 matches you can finally talk about.
I don't know everybody else.
Number 1 is the Generation versus Generation match. This is Cody versus Dustin. And for those who are not aware of Dustin is was formerly known as Goldust in WWE.
Why don't they just go by Cody Runnels and Dustin Runnels?
Well, I mean, they all want to go by the Rhodes name.
I get it. But WWE is petty. So let's just go by Runnels.
I think it's kind of interesting. This buildup of this match is kind of very interesting because it's being billed as a generation versus generation, not a brother versus brother. And Cody's premise is that Dustin, or who the public knows as Goldust, represents the Attitude Era, and he feels that while that era was groundbreaking and, revolutionary, that, the talent now is way better than what the Attitude Era ever was from a wrestling standpoint.
Which he's 100% right.
He's 100% right, in my opinion. So it's billed as a generation versus generation now. I don't think I said this, but they did a weigh-in today at StarCast. And, oh, this is grimy. Dustin wore a shirt that said Dusty's favorite son.
Oh. Dang, I think I saw a picture of that, but I thought it was like, one of those things where they like edit a fake shirt over like a picture.
That was real.
That's mad funny.
That's crazy.
That's disrespectful.
That's super disrespectful. That's super disrespectful. But hey, I'm for it though, because this is gonna be a good match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of either guy. Like,
right.
I don't have an issue necessarily with Cody. I just feel like Cody really has allowed WWE to live in his head, and he makes decisions based off of what WWE is or is not doing. And I get like the is not doing because you want to attract those people, that audience that is not like loving the WWE product right now. But like, if you want to attract people who are casuals and who like it, the thing that you don't do is talk bad about WWE like every chance you get, because that's what it seems like. He may not be doing that, but that's what it seems like.
For sure, I could definitely see that.
And Goldust, he just likes talking about people who don't like the decisions that the company made on Twitter, calling us smarks and blah blah blah. A newsflash, Goldust, you're a smart too.
We all are. We all smart.
We're all smart marks.
To be completely honest.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
and then what was the next match?
The next match was for the AAA Tag Team Championships. We have the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. Now, this feud has been building since, I want to say...
Was it Triple Mania? Or maybe Triple Mania is not what I'm talking about.
Nah, they've been building this feud for about since like late last year, I believe. The Young Bucks showed up to a house show and was just like, hey, so we heard you're the best tag team in the world, and we want to challenge you to a match. And then the Lucha Brothers came onto the All Elite press conference rally in Vegas and super kicked them and did whatever. And then the Young Bucks went to Mexico, won the AAA tag team titles from them in their home turf, and now the AAA tag team titles are on the line.
Yeah.
In this match, I think that the Lucha Brothers are going to go over. I feel like the Young Bucks are definitely doing this to put the Lucha Brothers over and to position them as the premier tag team.
Yeah.
What about you?
Honestly, I'm not like too up on the Lucha Bros. Like, I know they had a match at Hog. Forgot who it was with because it was like a minute ago.
Right.
But, like, I'm not too up on who they are, so like I can't really like comment on them. I'm still like trying to
figure it out.
Watch, everybody who's like coming out now and stuff. Like, I haven't really been watching wrestling that much.
Very true.
But what I will say is, I've seen some of their work. They're really great. I feel like the Young Bucks, we already know, are really good wrestlers. So we're going to get to see like a really good match with this one and with the main event.
That's going to be a really good match. And the last match is the main event, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, which is kind of the sequel to their match in New Japan.
Which was a year ago.
At Wrestle Kingdom. I think it was for the U.S. title, and Kenny won. And I believe that Chris Jericho is going to win this one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like Chris Jericho is going to win, and because he's going to win, he's going to be one of the contenders for their world championship, which would be huge. But yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I could see Chris Jericho even going so far as to winning their
World title.
Winning their world title, which would be like an OD LOL TNA moment.
What?
But you know,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Speaking of LOL TNA moments, TNA
Impact,
whatever their name is, the company that John Cena could buy with the tithe, 10%. They had a main event on TV. I forgot what day it was. Whatever day they come on television. And they ended up going to commercial at the very beginning of the main event. 25 minutes left of the show, and played commercials throughout the rest of the show. That I found that's just like, wow, what an LOL TNA moment. Like, just,
total nonstop action.
Total nonstop BS.
Oh my God. But anyway, we want to know what your predictions are for Double or Nothing. We want you to comment below, like, and share. By the time this goes up, the results will be out. So.
Yeah.
But we would highly recommend that you watch it. We'll probably be at Legends Bar. I'll maybe be at Legends Bar for this whole damn thing. So if you're there, hope to see you there. If you're not, then you just missed it. But anyway, it's Jay the Creative.
I'm Groot.
And thank you for watching another episode of Culture 316. We out. Woo.